In the 1800s, there lived a young girl named Mary. An illness washed over the land where they lived, making people drop dead after a short period of time. When physicians couldn't find a pulse, they might put a mirror under the nose of the seemingly dead. If there was no condensation on it from their breath, they were assumed to be dead. But were they? Cases of people who were pronounced dead but weren't happened often. So when one would die, people would put a small hole in the coffin and put a piece of string through the hole that was attached to a bell. The bell would hang on a stick by the homes of the deceased. If the recently buried awoke, they would pull the string, ring the bell, and would be dug up. When Mary was bedridden with illness and slowly died, she was laid in a coffin in her grave, but wasn't buried just yet, as it would be easier to unnail the coffin if perhaps she awoke. Days passed, then a week. Her parents never left the house, wishing with their very being that their sweet Mary would awaken again and the bell would ring. Friends of the parents claimed that if she had not awoken yet, then she never would. That day, the parents buried her coffin, string still attached, and left to go to the neighbor's house for a repast. Not soon after, Mary awoke. She pulled the string, and the bell rang and rang, but her parents didn't hear it. No one did. They were all too far away. She pulled and pulled the string until the bell fell off and rang no more. She began clawing and scratching at her wooden prison until her fingers bled. She continued scratching until she breathed her last breath. When the parents arrived home, the father soon realized that the bell was off the stick and called for his wife to come and help dig up their daughter. Finally, they reached her, unlatched the coffin, and found Mary in a petrified state. Her hands, like claws, were covered in blood, as was the white dress she was buried in. They put a mirror under her nose to see if her breath would show. Even though she was dead, the condensation appeared on the mirror. Her spirit is said to have attached to the mirror in that moment. And now, whenever one calls Bloody Mary 3 times in a mirror, she comes and claws the eyes out of the unfortunate victim.